and you had to give money and then another 2,000.
Correct.
I thought one of the things about being a friend is if you went away, they send envelopes to your house every week, put some money in your commissary. As far as you know, at least up to 17, was that still the case?
Well, I don't know about every week, but
or whatever.
I know. Yeah, I know that they were doing the commissary thing. I don't know, and I don't want to say that it wasn't happening. I don't know about giving money to people's families, but I know that they were sending the commissary money, and like I said, knowing that we were trying to do that, right, to at least send commissary and put money on the side, is more the reason why John should have not even accepted the first money that he gave him, which was 4,000, and not complain that he wanted more. And he took the other two, so that made 6, and he took it, put it in his pocket. You're talking about a guy that's, I don't care what he made, what he has. You're talking about a guy that's going to do a bid, right? And is leaving behind a wife with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And, I just left a bad taste in my mouth, what he did.
Now, you seem to be like an historian like myself. I love the history. I love the old school stuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. You've been a great kind of picture of what's happening now. As far as what were like past administrations like Casso, Gas and Vic, what did they kind of expect versus Madonna versus over to DeSantis? What was kind of like the leadership styles and what they like, in terms of Christmas time and end of the year stuff?
Well, I mean, as far as dollar amount, I really wouldn't know. Back then what they were getting, but I know that the Christmas parties were much bigger back then. Okay. And they, sometimes they were renting halls out like a wedding. Yes. Well, I've never went to one like that, but remember, I'm only assuming, Tom, there was a lot more money being made back then. So I would assume that even if it was still a $2,500 per man and $10,000 per skipper, I bet you that the envelopes were a lot larger because the amount of money that was being made, there was a lot of money being made back then compared to now. Now, wise guys were chasing the same dollar, chasing their tails. So, that has a lot to do with it, even though I don't know the dollar amount, but I'm sure that the envelopes were a lot thicker because, guys were making it, and you don't mind giving more and it makes you look good, right? Like you said, a rock star makes you look good, like you're an earner.
Yeah.
And that was probably happening a lot more back then.
Got it. Now, as far as because you're obviously sharing that your family, your Borgata, and kind of like mixed it up with others. Was there one family that kind of did it right? Maybe like the Gambinos actually gave their guys money, or one family that kind of really did it right. Did the West Side even have a party? Like, I'm just wondering the dynamic across the different families at Christmas time.
I mean, I've heard of other Bogatas having parties.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember specifically hearing if the West Side had. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that out of all their crews, somebody had some kind of a party. It was probably low key because they try to do things differently. But there are parties, and I don't know the particulars of what other Bogatas were doing, and were they doing it? Were they not? Who wasn't not having any parties?